Welcome to This Week in Our Collective Heads. I'm Patrick, and we had some really big news. The main quest this week is about Far Cry, and we've been fans of the Far Cry series here for a while. 3 and 4 were amazing, and we got news that Far Cry 5 is actually going to be set in the United States, in Montana. Now, when they announced that, I think this is why a lot of people were thinking that it was going to be a Western, but it is set in modern day, and essentially a cult, a radical, hard right Christian cult are the antagonists of the game, and this has started a lot of people to be upset at the developers for doing that, for what they feel is demonizing Christianity. But after seeing the trailer and after hearing more about the game, I don't think that's true whatsoever. What you have here is them spotlighting how any ideology, be it a religion or whatever it is, taken to the extreme, can cause so many problems. When you have the binary aspect of good and evil, and you take that in either direction, it's a negative. It is. And in this case, they said they were inspired by the current political climate, as well as some recent events. They did not mention it specifically, but I feel like they were inspired by the Bundy clan, if you will, Clive and Bundy and what's his name, Warren Bundy. I don't remember the guy's name. I think that they were part of the inspiration for this. You have people. You have multiple groups in America that are further and further divided, and they're demonizing the other side. This is taking it to a complete extreme. You have a group of isolated individuals, kind of Westboro Baptist Church style. You think of a militarized Westboro Baptist Church. This is essentially what this would be. You have people who their answer to someone sinning is to just kill them, or to torture them, or whatever it is. This is not demonizing Christianity whatsoever. This is showing how extremism can happen anywhere. And I think that in the Far Cry series, Far Cry's been not demonizing, but the bad guys in the Far Cry series have been anything but white Americans. And I think that now that the tables have turned, I think that people are uneasy about that, and I think that's important. But it's also I think it's understood that they'd be upset about that. But the thing that's important is seeing that this is not saying all Christians are a problem, or all Christians are wrong, or all Christians are bad. It's saying these extreme individuals can cause a lot of problems, and we've seen this in our country, but not in the level that we're looking at. So it'd be like if the Clive and Bundy situation, when they took over that federal building. So they broke into and occupied a federal building, wouldn't leave, breaking multiple rules, but they said, okay, well, it's my right to be here as an American. The extreme view of, I own this country and I can do whatever I want on federal government doesn't own any land, is a hard right rule. Now, a hard right lean, but that doesn't mean that it's wrong. When you take it in the further extreme, saying I'll kill anybody who comes here, or they actually do kill people, okay, that's when you're going too far. Expressing an ideology, if you're not hurting other people, is important. I think that it's important to have free speech, But when you start to hurt other people physically, when you impede on someone else's free speech, when you impede on someone else's freedom, that's a problem. And in this case, that's what these people are doing. They're not about, about freedom of the individual. It's about oppressing and instilling their version of Christianity on other people. So I think it'll be, a really interesting game. No, sorry, just looking through the comments. Yeah, Westboro Baptist Church. Yeah, it basically does predict what would happen if an organization like Westboro Baptist Church expanded, militarized, and if people got behind that, if that became a political movement like the Tea Party or whatever. And the only reason I mention that is because it's a grassroots movement. If the Tea Party was growing like that, and they were giving everyone guns and telling them to shoot federal officers. Wait, no, the Tea Party did that. Okay, they didn't give out guns though. If they were giving out guns and they were driving around causing mayhem, that's what this would be. So I think it's interesting, because I think that like I said, any ideology taken to extreme is going to be a problem, and in this case, this is one taken to a problem, taken to too far of a level. It's the same thing with Islam. What we're seeing in regards to the bombings and terrorism, that's not all Islam at all. That's less than 0.1% of Islam believe this crackpot stuff. The only difference is they're not just yelling crazy stuff in the streets at people who are trying to go see movies or going to conventions. They're not just picketing funerals of dead soldiers. Like, again, these are all Westboro Baptist stuff. Imagine if those people decided to be violent, and that's essentially what the plot of this is. I think it's interesting. I think that I'm hoping that they're going to go far enough with this that it makes us uneasy. I think that it's important for these types of games. Far Cry 4 had some very interesting choices that Kevin and I were discussing, where you have an individual who doesn't care about individual casualties. That doesn't matter to the person. It's all about the end goal. And I think the extremism of that is important. And I'm hoping that they're tackling the subject and do it with tact, which I think they will do. But I hope in doing so that they can shine a light on these extreme views and how they can be a problem if they're not shared in a healthy way. Because it's okay to have different viewpoints. The only problem is it's the whole "my freedom ends with the end of my fist" or whatever. Like, I can't remember the phrase because I'm really exhausted, but this is impeding on other people's freedoms, and when you do that, that's a problem. So let me know in the comments what you think of the new Far Cry game. Are you going to get it? Are you protesting it? And let me know if you heard about Alex Jones ranting on it, because he's the only person that I thought would hate it, and some other people did, but yeah, Alex Jones hates it, so I love it. We'll see you guys later.